Welcome to Reservations for One with Bills. I am Bills. Back for the episode. Um, last week episode, I realized that I gave myself some love advice, and I kind of realized that it applied to life advice as well. As I listened to it, I was like, damn, that's really advice that I could use for every field about just spreading yourself so thin, stop trying to do too many things at once, and just focus on one or two. Stop loving 12 things and only love four things, and do those four things good. So that's definitely advice that I'm gonna give myself. And it made me realize that all advice is the same. All advice is good advice. All advice is good advice. It might not be good for one field. So if somebody tell you something, just listen to them, because all fucking advice is good advice, and it could be applied to or across many different fields. And I just got back from Boston, man. I love Boston, man. Boston is definitely one of my top most underrated cities. Definitely my top three cities in America. I love Boston, man. There's definitely a lot of black people in Boston, and because I was going to Boston during the pandemic, so I just stayed like in a like by the Seaport area. This time I was in Back Bay. Shout out my homegirl Wintana. She showed me a good time, and I went out to a couple bars and shit like that, a couple clubs, and it's definitely a lot more black people than they let you know in Boston. It is. But I definitely could see myself having a baby in Boston that I go visit every 2 weeks. You feel me? Having me a baby moms, Ethiopian baby moms out there. So definitely be heading back to Boston soon. And if anybody from Boston, y'all know any lit Boston spots I should check out, just drop them in the comments or write me, let me know, because I'll be back out there next month. And what I did this week, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh my God, this Guardians of the Galaxy was top three Marvel movies. Probably top 8 movies I've ever saw, and top 3 Marvel movies. Like this one, they just was I cried. Like I felt every emotion you could feel this weekend over Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie was just it, man. Marvel is definitely making a comeback. It was getting a little bit. The last couple of Marvel movies was alright, and I thought I was just getting tired of it. Was getting fatigued because I seen loved Marvel for so much movies, and it's just like after a while, once you get tired of something, you stop looking at it the same way, and. But this movie right here, this Guardians of the Galaxy, this definitely revived my love for Marvel, and I can't wait for the next ones. I don't even know the next movie to come out, but I just cannot fucking wait for it, man. And when I was in Boston, I went to they had like a dope ass bar I went to, and they had mad games, and all the games was like a lot of people was on it, so I wound up playing pinball, and it got me to start thinking that pinball literally like is nothing nowadays. Like pinball used to be the biggest thing in the world when it first came out. There was people dying for pinball. Like you would get a milkshake poured on your head if the bullies wanted to play pinball. You was on the pinball machine. Like 50 years ago, people would have died in Boston to play pinball, a black person. And I'm just sitting there like, God damn, I gotta play pinball because nothing else is open, man. And that really is crazy. That be making me think about the future, how stuff from the past used to mean so much, and now it literally means nothing. Like a pinball machine is the worst game that you could play when you go to an arcade. But back in the day, it was everything. And I'm trying to think like what could be that nowadays, and that's even right, like what is that going to be like in the future? What nowadays is going to be like this nothing in the future? Probably everything though, because everything is going to get, but me, I think technology is going to go backwards. I think that we came too far advanced, and we're gonna go back to the rugged land and desert areas, and it's gonna be no more skyscrapers, and everybody gonna be living underground. That's towards where I think the future is headed, and hiding from AI. I kind of deaded my beef with AI. I don't got beef with AI no more. We more so come to a mutual understanding that neither one of us is better than the other. So me and AI have definitely found some common ground. So I don't got beef with robots no more. You heard it here in Reservations For One. Bills has ended his beef with AI. What else was this weekend? Oh, I seen that Ed Sheeran was getting sued by Marvin. I don't think it was Marvin Gaye's people, but like I think like for a Marvin Gaye song, like one of the songwriters in the song. And I kind of went and listened to the song, although it don't really sound like the Marvin Gaye song to me. I would sue him too because that song is just too beautiful. Like I cannot believe that a white man made that song. Like that song is too fire. So I see why he got sued. I would have sued his ass too. Cause I think I heard it before, but I don't think I paid it any mind or never really like gave it a care to actually listen to the song. And now that I actually listen to it, it is a beautiful ass song. So I see why they were trying to sue him. Well, I seen Bad Bunny was getting sued by his ex girlfriend or something like that, and suing for mad millions. But yo, Bad Bunny's on top. Yeah, if I was Bad Bunny, that's why all my ex girlfriends know when I get my millions, get $80 million, I'm giving them all millions of dollars off jump. Every girl I ever loved getting $1 million, $1 million, $1 million, $1 million. You feel me? Just passing. I'm ruining their marriages. I'm just popping back up women I ain't speak to in 15 years. Like here, take $1 million for everything you did for me on my way. You feel me? Because I'm very appreciative. Because I'm a big believer in every single person and every single experience get you to where you need to get to. So even if it was a bad experience, I learned something from that, or that put me down the path that I'm on now to that I'm ascending. So Bad Bunny should have definitely blessed his ex way before, especially if he used her voice. If like it was because her voice was used, he definitely should have. But shout out to Bad Bunny, man. Bad Bunny is definitely on top of the world. He is just like completing so much side quests. I seen him in movies. He was in Bullet Train. He was in wrestling, like he doing everything, and all of this without learning English. He barely speak any English, but that is why America is going down the drain. Because how is this big superstar don't respect America enough to learn our language, but he one of the biggest stars here? So nah, but I fuck with Bad Bunny. Because I damn sure did watch wrestling again. It made me miss wrestling though. I'm not gonna lie, I miss wrestling, man. I think I'm about to start getting back into wrestling. That made me start thinking of like my top 10 wrestlers of all time. My top 5. I didn't do top 10. Like my top 5 wrestlers of all time is definitely number 5 is Radish and Rick Rude. Rick Rude was definitely a good, like he was the man. Even though I feel like he was never that big of a star, but he just was like the person you fuck with the most. Because I think I said it before, the Intercontinental Champions always got more swag than the World Champions because they just cooler. Like the Intercontinental Championship holders is like the cool guys in wrestling. Like they sometimes the champs be cornballs or people you don't really fuck with like that. But I always feel like the Intercontinental Champs was dope. Number 4 is Buff Bagwell. Buff Bagwell when he was in NWO. Buff Bagwell, he was the reason I started doing push-ups. The reason I got so vain, kissing my muscles, and he was because one of my favorites because in when I think I was like in 4th grade, 3rd or 4th grade, all the 5th and 6th graders got to be the cool people. So if you hang out with all the older people, when I was with my younger friends, my age, I was Hulk Hogan and them, but at that time, when you hanging out with a bunch of older people, you gotta be the be the secondary character. So I had to be Buff Bagwell. So I took a real liking to him, and I was like, "Fucking, I'm Buff Bagwell." I had the Buff Bagwell toys. I just really embodied the Buff Bagwell thing, and that's crazy to think about that, right? I had an older brother, so I always never. When I was in the house, I always had to be Vegeta. That's how I became the bad guy. Because my brother always got to be the cool person, and I had to be the secondary nigga. I had to be Vegeta. I had to be, and number 3, Val Venus. Val Venus was definitely an underrated wrestler. Especially, he was kind of a perv. He used to rip off the towel, but I used to always do that. Like, hello, ladies. My son Val Venus had the ladies, so I definitely wanted to be Val Venus. Number 2 is definitely The Rock. The Rock is just one of my favorite people in general. Like he just like his come up is just amazing to see him, and he just was the most electrifying, the most entertaining person in sports. That he had 2 cool moves. He had 2 finishes. People's elbow, the people's eye. He did the people's eyebrow. He just had everything you would want to be as a person. And number 1, HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the best to ever do it in my opinion. Like Shawn Michaels is definitely the greatest, the showstopper. I didn't watch him. Like, he's probably the only wrestler I follow all of his feuds. I hated people that hated him. Like, because I used to like Bret Hart. But then once he started beef with Bret Hart, you out of here, Bret Hart. And I took on Shawn Michaels beef. Like I was a Shawn Michaels fan when he was with Psycho Sid, when he hired Psycho Sid to protect him against Diesel, or was it the other way around? Like Shawn Michaels I've been a Shawn Michaels fan forever. When he beat the British Bulldog at a Royal Rumble, I remember that. Like a lot of my earliest childhood memories is with Shawn Michaels. So, and that's why I think I'm gonna name one of my kids Shawn Michaels. Like the first name is her full first name is gonna be like Shawn Michaels, then Brandon, then my last name. So, well, that's a quick episode of Reservations for One. Make sure you go check out Saturday.com for the new shirts we released. I think we got the Invited shirt out that just dropped. I don't want to go, but I want to be invited. Make sure you go follow us on Instagram at Saturday on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram at SadPit, Bbillions on Twitter. Make sure you like, subscribe, and to the podcast and to the YouTube, man. Let's get that YouTube up, man. I didn't get a YouTube subscriber in a few weeks. I've been going hard for y'all, so make sure y'all like and subscribe to the YouTube. This is Bills for Reservations for One, and I am out.